Hi, I'm Allie. I'm with Microsoft Finance, specifically procurement, and I'm here today to talk to you a little bit about a challenge that we solved using citizen development. Our challenge started when we sent 150,000 employees to work from home at the beginning of the pandemic. While we have buying programs to support hardware to our employees around the globe, we didn't necessarily have a buying program that sent hardware directly to our employees in their homes. And so to support this, we actually got a call from our executive team on a Thursday morning, and they asked us to enable this. So we triaged, we rallied, and we knew that any solution that we came to was going to need to take into consideration speed, compliance, security, privacy, and of course, cost effectiveness. The technologies that we embraced to do this were some of our old friends, SharePoint, SQL, Dynamics, as well as some of our new friends in the Power Platform, Power Apps, Power Automate, Power BI. I'm going to take you through it here. So on day one, we immediately enabled SharePoint and email notifications, Excel spreadsheets. We had manual agents working on orders as they were coming in, as folks were starting to work from home. That process, we anticipated we could have scaled within a few weeks to 17 countries. And the end-to-end experience was about 2 weeks. At the same time, we deployed a small tiger team of citizen developers to work in concert with the hardware team and figure out how can we use technology to make this go faster and scale. Once we completed that workflow, we were actually able to get our ordering time down to less than 5 minutes. I'm going to walk us through the process now with a little bit of a demo. So the process starts on procureweb. Procureweb is a consolidated landing page where purchasers across the enterprise can go to find out more about buying policies, tools, and any sort of questions and answers that they may have about purchasing. This was the right place to take some real estate and to illustrate where folks could go to buy hardware for their work from home needs. So as you can see here, we took some real estate right on the front page, and the user can go there and click Learn More. What that does is it brings them to the offering page, gives them a little more information about the program, and then most importantly, gives them a link to the powerapp experience where they can actually order some hardware. So as the user clicks into the powerapp, this is what they see. As you can see on the left-hand side, the powerapp authenticates against an Active Directory. It can tell who I am, where I live, and on the left-hand side, it asks me for my shipping information. On the right-hand side, it gives a small but curated list of hardware that I can order and have delivered to my home, as well as asking me what kind of laptop I have, because it's important to know what kind of connectors I might need to connect that hardware. That's the experience for the user. Pretty quick, pretty simple. I hit submit, and then I get a validation screen. The green screen that you see now is a validation screen that sets my expectations. The request has been received, but also sets my expectations about what to expect next. My manager needs to approve it, and then I'll receive an order confirmation. What's important about this validation screen is that as a developer, it gives us the flexibility to prompt messages as we need to. So when we were having problems with the supply chain or inventory issues, we could in minutes go up and post messages to users to set expectations that maybe shipping times were going to be longer or the inventory stockpiles were compromised at that time, and we did use it. So I've placed my order, I'm going along my way, and so what happens next? Well, my manager needs to approve. So we use Power Automate to send an email to my manager. This is an example of the email that you're looking at. My manager has a little bit of information about the program in case they're not familiar, and a little bit of information about my order. It's important to see that we blurred out the personally identifiable information from me. My email address and my PII does not need to be in this email, so we don't send it through, and we can do that via the Power Platform. And then, of course, at the bottom of the mail, we provide some controls where my manager can easily click Approve or Reject. She's going to click Approve. Once she clicks Approve, that signals the database via an API right directly to our purchase order system. So what we're looking at here is a snapshot of our purchase order system called My Order. And this is my purchase order being written automatically, and there's folks on the other end in the supply chain managing it from there. So once my purchase order is created and submitted back to me, I get via Power Automate a notification. The notification gives me an order ID as well as some FAQs in terms of what I can expect and links in case I have questions. So that's pretty much completed the order experience for me. But as I'm waiting, it might be a few days before the order arrives, I might want to know the status. Where is it? I can go back to the Power App, and on the left-hand nav, I can select View Status. And as you can see in the top line there, you can see that the order was placed, the supplier's processing. So I kind of get a sense of where the order is. And that's all via the Power App. That's the experience for the user. So think about it from the experience for the executive team. It's important to take a look at the data, and we consolidate all the data on the back end, and we use Power BI to create those visualizations. We look at the total number of requests, how much of the employee base have we serviced? Do we have a concentration of orders from a particular region? Do we have a concentration of orders of a particular hardware device? What does our forecast look like? How much are we spending? All of those questions can be answered through easy visuals in Power BI. And here's just an example of what that might look like. This is a standard business process. And when you really break it down, this process that I just described, although it was enterprise-wide and has a huge impact, it really boils down to 4 nodes. 1, we're collecting user inputs. 2, we're processing them. 3, we're communicating results. And 4, we're consolidating data into a reporting UI. We work day in and day out with all kinds of business processes that are manual or possibly even broken. And when you can distill those business processes down to their most common elements, you can apply the Power Platform to each of those nodes. And when it comes together, the impact can be tremendous. To review the impact, speed was a big one for us. We were able to create and launch workflow automation to support this process to an enterprise by day 3. That's pretty incredible. From a scale perspective, we were able to scale to 110 countries with the same technology. Compliance is important. We streamlined for PII, personally identifiable information, and all privacy concerns through secure SQL connections and through the Power Platform. And then employee productivity. Less than 5 minutes order experience is a pretty great experience. And assuming we have supply available and there's no supply chain issues, it's about 2.5 days from hitting the submit button to getting your hardware, which is pretty good for the employees. You too can become a citizen developer. You don't need to have a huge technical background to do it. I've included a link on the slide where you can go to docs@microsoft.com and learn more about the Power Platform. You can go deeper on Power BI and learn how to create reports and visuals, as well as Power Automate, which is the process automation that we leveraged to do the alerts that we talked about in our process. Power Apps is the low-code input tool that we use for the ordering platform. You put all of that together, and the impact is incredible. Thanks for your time, and happy developing.